Welcome to Wargames Battle Reports. Coming up, we've got two games back to back today. A fun little 3rd edition 40k event at Tabletop Republic. This was actually held a few weeks ago and on the same weekend as the 11th edition launch. So it's good to see such a good turnout for it as well, playing 3rd edition instead of the new edition. For this event, it's 1,000-point armies, but it's main rulebook only. So just the basic army lists from the back of the rulebook. No codices, no trial assault rules or vehicle rules or anything like that. It's just 3rd edition as it was at launch in 1998. My army for the two games, I'm using my Eldar today. I've got a Farseer. There's no options, it's just the rune psychic power. The Avatar, 6 Howling Banshees, including an Exarch. 6 Dire Avengers, including an Exarch with a power weapon. They have a Wave Serpent transport with its twinning shuriken cannon and an extra shuriken cannon. A unit of Guardians with a missile launcher platform and a Warlock leading them. A Viper with scatter laser and shuriken cannon. A Falcon with, bright lances and pulse lasers, but they don't have their own profiles in the rulebook lists, so they count as a las cannon and twin-link las cannon. Finally, there's a unit of Dark Reapers with an Exarch. Bit of a difference from the practice game, if anyone watched that one. Finished the Dark Reapers the night before. Game 1 is against Luke and a thematic Iyanden Ghost Warrior force. So it's Eldar versus Eldar, but our armies are very different. For Luke's Iyanden, there is a Farseer, 2 units of 5 Wraith Guard with Warlocks attached. One of them has a Wave Serpent with shuriken cannons. Guardian Defenders with a las cannon platform. 2 Wraith Lords, one with a las cannon and another with a plasma cannon. Bright Lances and Star Cannons don't have their own profiles. They just counts as las cannons and plasma cannons. We've set up for the game with this very Command and Conquer-esque board, deploying in opposite corners for a night fighting mission. This picture is the end of both our turn 1s. The Iyanden Eldar win the roll-off and take the first turn. The Wraith Lords and Wraith Guard on foot advance up. The Serpent with the other Wraith Guard unit moves 12 inches towards the Avatar. Turn 1 shooting. Because of night fighting, the Wraith Lords and Guardians end up being out of range and can't hit anything. Only the Wave Serpent can see through the darkness and puts 2 wounds on the Avatar. Movement for my Eldar turn 1. The Avatar moves towards the Serpent and the Guardians and Banshees move through the gaps in the terrain. The Viper and Serpent move sideways and face the Wraith Guard, keeping their distance. Shooting, the Serpent, Viper and the Dark Reapers aim at the closest Wraith Lord. The Vulcan and Guardians try to shoot at the other Serpent. However, nothing hits, either missing or rolling too low for their night fighting distance. Turn 2, in the centre, the Wraith Guard disembark from the Serpent and, with the Plasma Cannon Wraith Lord, shoot at the Avatar. Despite all their fire, the Avatar survives with 1 wound remaining. The Serpent kills 2 Banshees, then, in their turn, the remaining Banshees and the Avatar move towards the Wraith Guard and then charge them through the gaps in the terrain. Combined attacks from the Exarch and Avatar kill 3 Wraith Guard, and the Avatar survives the attacks back. On the far flank, the Iyanden Guardians fail to hurt the Serpent, and the Serpent returns fire, and the Guardians fail their morale test and fall back. Both our Farseers have been using their rune sight psychic power. With the help from the Farseer, combined fire from the Dark Reapers and the Viper kill the Plasma Wraith Lord, and the Falcon puts a wound onto the other remaining Wraith Lord. Iyanden turn 3. The Iyanden Guardians are unable to regroup. They try to shoot the serpent whilst falling back, but they don't hit it. Near the middle, the Wraith Lord shoots at the Viper, shaking it. On the other side, the Iyanden Serpent moves closer to the Guardians and away from the combat. It shoots at the Guardians, killing 2, but they pass their morale. In the combat, the Avatar kills one of the Wraith Guard and then critically passes its save against the Warlock's Witchblade, continuing to survive with 1 wound left. For the other Eldar turn 3, the Farseer suffers the perils of the warp attack trying to cast Rune Sight, luckily escaping unscathed. The shaken Viper runs away and the Falcon turns to face the Iyanden Serpent. The Guardians on the flank actually move closer to the Serpent, mostly to get away from the board edge if they fail the morale, but also it's still night fighting, so maybe they can actually see something this close. Shooting, the Serpent and the Reapers kill the remaining Wraith Lord, and then the Falcon shoots the Iyanden Serpent and manages to wreck it. The Serpents are armor 14, but skimmers die really easy if you can get some kind of damage on them. In the combat, the Avatar kills the Warlock, and then the remaining Wraith Guard falls back as they're not fearless. Turn 4, there's only the Wraith Guard and the Farseer left on the Iyanden side, and they shoot at and manage to kill the rest of the Banshees, but the game is then called at this point. The Avatar would probably die next turn, but the Wraith Guard are not likely to get into range of anything else, and will probably get shot at by everything remaining on the other Eldar side. So it's a win for the Eldar. A fun but short game to start with. Going into the game, I thought maybe the terrain and night fighting might favour the Iyanden, as it could negate the range and speed advantage of my Eldar and give them an extra turn to get in range. Turn 1, though, both of us were affected by the darkness, but turn 2, everything on the Iyanden side tried to finish off the Avatar, and it survived on 1 wound, and then it was able to get into the Wraith Guard, and shooting, mostly from the Dark Reapers, was able to kill the Wraith Lords. Game 2, and I'm up against Stephanie and her Ultramarines army. For HQ, there's a Chaplain with a Combi Flamer, 2 tactical squads, each with sergeants with power fists, no heavy weapons, just lots of bolter fire, a Rhino for one of the squads, a multi-melter attack bike, a Predator Annihilator with las cannon sponsons, a Dreadnought with twin link heavy bolters, and lastly 5 Devastators with 2 heavy bolters and 2 plasma cannons. For the scenario, we roll up Taken Hold with the Ultramarines defending. So this ruin is chosen as the objective, and the Ultramarines set up with almost everything either in or behind it. Almost the whole army is either troops or heavy support, so only the attack bike is left in reserve. There's 1 tactical squad with the Chaplain on the ground, the 2nd tactical squad on the 1st floor, and then the Devastators on the top floor. All the Eldar start off the board, but as the attacker, they automatically go first and everything moves on turn 1. So, Eldar turn 1, the Viper and the Serpent with the Dire Avengers come on in the left corner, and the Avatar moves up in the centre, threatening the objective. The Guardians, Falcon, and the Dark Reapers with the Farseer attached come in the right corner. Then there's the Banshees just kind of wandering indecisively in the middle of nowhere, forgetting they can't fleet again. Shooting is limited due to movement, but the Falcon immobilizes the Rhino, the Serpent kills 1 tactical marine, and the Viper kills a Devastator. Ultramarines turn 1, there's some movement for arcs, but mostly they stay still to defend the ruins and shoot. Shooting is devastating. The Devastators wreck the Viper. One of the plasma cannons overheated, but it survived. In the centre, the Dreadnought and Tactical Marines shoot the Avatar. The Dread doesn't do anything, but 26 bolter shots at the Avatar are enough to bring it down. The Rhino kills a Banshee, and then the Predator wrecks the Falcon. Any immobilized result, and skimmers crash regardless of how fast they're going. So it's a bad start to the game for the Eldar. Turn 2. In the centre, the Banshees advance, but the tactical squad with the Chaplain move towards them. Bolter fire and the Chaplain's Flamer kill 4. The Exarch, now alone, flees. It doesn't fall back very far, but can't regroup now. On the left, the Serpent moves slightly and kills the Tactical Marine. The Predator repositions to face the Serpent, hits it, but again can't penetrate it. Everything remaining on the right side stays still to fire, and with the help of the Farseer's rune sight, the Dark Reapers kill the Devastators. The Guardians shoot at the Rhino, hitting it with the missile launcher, but only immobilize it again. Turn 3. The Serpent moves sideways slightly, trying to get some cover from the Predator, get near the objective, and keep its distance from the Dreadnought all at the same time. Shuriken fire from the Serpent stuns the Dreadnought, and then the Predator fires at the Serpent again, hitting 3 times with its las cannons, but it still can't penetrate its armour. Banshee Exarch is unable to regroup, so falls back off the board. The Dark Reapers, with help from the Farseer, fire at the Chaplain's unit. The Chaplain and some of the Marines are out of cover and take hits first. The Chaplain saves a few with its invulnerable save, but it and 3 of the other Marines die. Once again, lacking a better target, the Guardians shoot at the doubly immobilized Rhino, this time stunning it. Turn 4. The Serpent stuns the Dreadnought again. It really needs to be destroyed or immobilized for any chance of getting to the objective. The Predator shoots back at the Serpent, but again can't penetrate its armour. The attack bike arrived last turn, and this turn continues to move as fast as possible to get into position and assist the defending Marines. On the other side, the Guardians miss, but the Reapers continue to do work and kill another 6 Marines. With random game length in this scenario, the game could end this turn, but we roll and it continues. Turn 5. The Serpent moves towards the Eldar centre and close to the objective, still staying away from the Dreadnought. It shoots the Dreadnought again, but fails to glance. The missile launcher from the Guardians hits the Marines on the objective, but they pass their cover save. The Reapers kill the Sergeant, finishing off the tactical squad on the ground. The Predator shoots at the Serpent again, this time managing to shake it, and the Dreadnought shoots at the Dark Reapers, but can't kill any. Turn 6, not a lot happens this turn. The Reapers don't have a target and the Serpent can't shoot, so the Reapers just move this turn. Farseer uses rune sight on the Guardians, who manage to shake the Dreadnought with their missile launcher. Predator fails again, but the multi-melter attack bike manages to stun the Serpent. Turn 7, the only thing that happens this turn is the Reapers shoot and kill off the attack bike. The Guardians with the Farseer again hit the Dreadnought, but can only shake it. The missile launcher keeps hitting things, but is unable to actually kill anything. The Predator similarly again tries to shoot the Serpent, but can't do anything to it. Turn 8, the final turn of the game. The Serpent moves as close as possible to the objective, but has to stay an inch away from the Dread and the Predator. At this point, it's actually hoping to be destroyed. There's almost no hope, but if the Serpent's destroyed and the occupants survive, they'll be forced out and potentially contest the objective. The Reapers don't have any good targets and shoot the Rhino, but don't do anything useful. With help from the Farseer, the Guardians hit the Dreadnought again, but can't penetrate it. Predator shakes the Serpent, and then the Dreadnought charges it, but being a fast-moving skimmer, unfortunately it proves too difficult to hit. So the game ends with the Ultramarines in control of the objective, so it's a victory for the Ultramarines. It would be easy to just blame the first turn losses. They definitely made winning very unlikely. Losing the Avatar, Viper, and Falcon so early hurt a lot. However, I think there was still more I could have done. Having the Avatar go straight at the objective first turn was always risky, but I thought at least it would be a big distraction. The Banshees should have either been a lot closer to it or a lot further away, even if it meant them getting shot up turn 1. Perhaps then one of them could have survived and got into combat turn 2. But the Ultramarines didn't really have to choose between them. Also, I think I was too defensive after that, trying to wait until the Dreadnought was neutralized before trying to attack the objective, which I never managed. The game could have ended at any time from turn 4 because of random game length, and the Dire Avengers never got out in either game. The Guardians should have been advancing as well, and there was at least one turn when the Reapers should have just moved for better line of sight. After the initial losses, the Reapers made the game a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. They were brutal this game, and they weren't actually getting a lot of help from the Farseer. They were just rolling really well on their own. I think Steph defended really well, and after the initial success, didn't really do much more damage after that. 2 vehicles were destroyed first turn, but then neither side could actually do any lasting damage. The Serpent surviving a lot of las cannon fire in particular. Anyway, a fun game, and thanks again to Steph for the game, my first opponent Luke, and to Tabletop Republic for a fun event. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you'd like to see more 3rd edition content. Thanks for watching.